Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane. A 1 vs 1 for you on Minsk Pocket. We shall be watching the one northern half of the map. Big D fighting for the Germans for the 6th Panzer Division, going up against Americanxwarrior, whatever that's supposed to mean, fighting for the Soviet Union for the 20th Tank Corps. And already the companies are rushing hard towards the west. Infantry company going up here. Pioneers following up. Doctrines are Spearhead, Lightning War, and Assault Support. One recurring theme being Tiger Tanks. For American fellow there, we're seeing Shock Rifle, Shock Army, and Counter-Attack. Another recurring theme here being Shock Troopers. So that's definitely some interesting recurring themes right there. One player seemingly fond of Tiger Tanks, the other seemingly fond of Shock Troopers. Grenadiers following up there, 2 Grenadier squads, at least once the other squad arrives. Concentrating towards the centre, towards a few. Nothing deeply unusual there. Likely the Grenadiers will make a rush with a few there. So no surprises so far. No deep, big revelations.
Grenadier squad is ready.
Points being secured. There we go. Second squad of Grenadiers, point being taken. Oberblitz standing about, not achieving much. Left behind by some scared driver, likely. There we go, few points being secured. Russians, of course, getting theirs first.
Pioneers reporting objective captured.
MG42 next. Again, the surprises are not many, at least not for now. Initial engagement over here, Pioneers versus Combat Engineers. Looks like the Pioneers are ignoring the Combat Engineers for now. Rushing step for munitions, or perhaps hoping to lure in the Combat Engineers and then get close with their MP40s. Who knows?
Territory secured.
Grenadiers, looks like they might be rushing to the aid of the Pioneers. Right hand side now being the focus of the Soviet Union forces, and there go the Grenadiers aiding up here. Pioneer goes down by the Opel Blitz. And now the Combat Engineers certainly find themselves the centre of attention here for the Germans. MG42 arrives. Additional conscripts arrives here for American.
How can we help? Grenadiers reporting objective captured.
Could get additional Grenadiers from an additional MG42 if you so desired. Holding up here behind the sandbags.
Taking fire! Einsatzbereit.
Munitions point being taken. Grenadiers conscripts moving up there. Grenadiers moving down there. And there go Combat Engineers on the retreat.
Under fire!
Having finally given up the fight for now. Conscripts moving up to take up position by the crates and the fences. Grenadiers moving into flank from behind, but another squad keeps them occupied in the front. The Pioneers continue to seize the munitions point. Right hand side being utterly lost to the search. MG42 needs to be careful. There go conscripts roaring away.
Yes.
A bit of a different kind of oorah. Oorah! Let us run away! But let's say oorah anyway, so it's not construed as a retreat and we might get shot.
What do you need?
And the squad needs to move up there. Seems to be not quite paying attention. Pioneers moving away. They're likely also going to get that victory point. Good. Third Grenadier squad arriving there. More conscripts arriving, this time actually in the direction of the enemy rather than away from them. And Molotovs up there. Grenadiers in close proximity, looks like. Big D here wasn't quite paying attention. One Grenadier squad is immediately forced away. Conscripts retreating as well. And the MG moving up. And an engagement here for the fuel point. Conscripts arriving, Grenadiers nearby. They should have upgraded with the light machine gun as soon as they entered, but never mind, never mind. Definitely should get into a bit more cover, and again the LMG would definitely be advantageous. MG42 providing support here for the Grenadiers. Conscripts fighting on, Molotov setting the truck on fire. Mein Gott, that is Wehrmacht property. The Vandals. There go another Molotov doing quite a bit of damage to these Grenadiers. Again, do not underestimate the Molotov. It can be quite a nasty weapon.
Yeah.
And there we go. Light machine gun actually being upgraded. Grenadiers here continues to not fare too well. Looks like a rifle grenade. And there we go. Barely any conscripts left. And another Molotov. Looks like Big D's not quite paying attention to all of his infantry. Of course, that can happen when you're trying to sort of run all across the field. As you might be noticing, he's fighting on several fronts, which does spread out his attention, which does make it easier for American here to drop in a Molotov. He's not careful. And there we go, Molotov on the MG42 as well. This time looks like Big D is paying attention and retreating in the nick of time. It looks like the Grenadiers here were able to win, although just barely. Most of that team is gone. Only one man left standing. Conscripts here could be what? No! Oh, he keeps moving about. Oh dear. That might allow the conscripts time to retreat fully. There we go. More conscripts converging. On this point, the Grenadiers need to retreat. They're not in condition to keep fighting. There we go. Another Molotov. And there we go. Retreat. He might lose them, in fact, if he's not careful. No, he somehow managed. Oh! Bloody hell. And that was that light machine gun. Rather unfortunate than that. Half-track following up. Like the mechanized company is up. Troops reinforcing, but this is what you'd call bad. Even worse is apparently American here overlooks it. That's not usually what you'd want to miss.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
But Big D having a bit of a halting unit preservation in the initial part of the game, a bit unfortunate that. Another light machine gun being upgraded on some other Grenadiers, and there we go, the shock troopers are arriving.
We're under attack! Yes?
Conscripts moving out again, move away slightly. There we go. Reacting this time, but again, conscripts do manage to get off a good shot there. MG42 moving up.
We are ready for action.
And the Mittelschützenpanzerwagen. That should definitely move ahead quickly to reinforce the troops at the front line and provide support that way. Troops reinforcing. Some Panzer Grenadiers might be an idea now. Or for that matter, the officers. He's gone straight away for the assault support doctrine. So the officer might be an idea. Yeah.
You need fire support?
How can we help?
And there goes shock troopers with a light machine gun. Looks like they want to pick up MG42. Quickly needs to lock them down before it's too late. There we go, flanking up. He's still occupied with the troops that is abreast of it. Bad timing there. Now looks like the MG42 might be overwhelmed. He could choose the half-track to actually block the movement of the shock troopers, toss them a bit around them up in the air. Officer on the way. Grenadiers here need to retreat, or get into the half-track. They can't hang around though. And there you go, MG42 sets up, but oh shoot, the shock troopers. There we go, and nicely done there with the smoke grenade. Of course, the problem is there slightly is the other troops can still report, but in this case he actually uses the timing to lob in a grenade, forcing the MG42 away.
We are ready.
Officer reporting.
Field officer moving up. Not much going on in the base. Reduced Special Rifle Command up. That looks like it might just be an interim solution just to get something bigger. In this case, going straight on for the Tank Battalion Command. Shock troopers here being forced away finally with only one loss. Considering the damage they did, though, that's definitely going to pay off.
This is German territory now.
Pioneers awaiting orders.
Bunkering down here by the right-hand munitions point. Thing he then doesn't have to bother about the right-hand side of the map. That's definitely not a bad idea. Scout car on the way. Officer might want to, move up with something. At least keep him in the half-track so he can quickly move over where he's needed. Might, prove to be a nice idea. Pushing up in the center, Mr. American. And so far, there's going to be a problem here, since he's taking up for the Tank of Battalion Command. He's sending it up, in fact, whereas Big D at the moment has absolutely nothing that can actually stop a tank. That's pretty bad. And there you go, conscripts getting their first taste of the MG bunker, and quickly retreating in the face of it. Scout here needs to be careful. Don't get too close. Don't get too close. And Grenadiers are being overwhelmed. American trying to attack as cross and wide a front as possible. Having to slip through the cracks, and so far he seems to be doing that alright. Officer and half-track being pushed towards the centre, and apparently abandoning the west flank, and the troops approaching there. And there we go, anti-tank grenade on the half track.
Enemy forces are securing
Again,
our
stay
territory.
away. Scout car here getting way too close to the shock troopers, exposing the rear even. That's really bad, particularly once they have a light machine gun as well. So that was definitely not well handled there by Big D. Seems like he's being a bit overstretched at the moment. Too much to manage. But at least he's got the half-tech reinforced troops at the front. And he's done taking up. Looks like he's going for an armoured rush, but again, that's pretty dangerous in particular considering. And he's gone for a light tier 1 and then moved on straight to tier 2. He's really setting himself up for a bit of a nasty surprise. At the same time, he's losing the west flank and now the right flank as well. Come on, Big D, reorganize and counterattack.
Yes?
There we go, support armor core up.
The enemy is attempting
And
to
over here to
steal
American, who's already got a T-34 halfway done.
Awaiting orders.
The enemy has taken our supply sector.
We have our PPSHs. Time to shoot some Germans.
Soviet shock army.
There are no cowards here.
Can't say I am shocked.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
The PPSH-41's up.
Be brave, comrades! Man down!
But as predicted, back when the action was made available, I mean, it's quite popular, since again, it rather gives people a lot of what they want and like, you know, shock troopers, heavy mortars, and assault packages. Officer here a bit reckless, almost getting wiped out here by the conscripts with the PPSH-41s. The Soviet submachine gun of choice. And there we go, the T-34-76 rolls ahead. This being one of the later models, I believe, of the T-34-76. There were later sort of different variants. And then again, there were also variants basically depending on what factory made them. There was a bit not such specifically a model, it seems. So there's some fun there as well, it would seem. But again, I mean, the situation is a bit hazardous here for Big D and the 6th Panzer Division as the T-34 moves ahead. Bunker stops up the comm engineers protecting the munitions point. Lovely, lovely. No sign of the Panzer, which is quite unfortunate. Also, conscripts are continuing harassing the left flank. You should definitely send in something to put a stop to, and also knowing both grenadiers are with light machine guns. Good, good. And quickly moving in the T-34 to begin clearing out the bunker. And now getting a heavy mortar as well. Lovely. First 3 abilities of the Doctrine already utilized. Compared to Big D, who so far only utilized 1. There goes shock troops moving ahead. Stop up, stop up. You can't fire the LMG if you're constantly moving about. That is something very important to remember about the LMG-42 again. It only shoots when you're standing still. And again, those sense he rather misses an opportunity actually for both firing on the shock troops and thus really deliver an overwhelming amount of lead into them. I can't help but find that a bit disappointing there for Big D. Again, attention to the light machine gun. Still no sign of a Panzer. The only thing there is a Mittlere Schützenpanzerwagen.
Ready. Engineer standing by.
Looks like Big D is ignoring the conscripts here a bit. And finally a Panzer IV has arrived. Light machine here versus conscripts, tearing into the bastards. Heavy mortar firing away there.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
Taking fire!
Pencil mount machine gun up as well there on the Panzer IV. T-34 just tearing into the infantry. Lightly going to assault on that Panzerfaust into the sides. And there we go. Damage any that should give the Panzer IV ample time to finish it off. Conscripts here close to getting wiped out. There we go, another Panzerfaust connects with the T-34. Panzer IV rolling ahead. Not good there, Americanxwarrior should have been more careful. I mean, I can understand why he might want to be a bit bold and try and throw the Germans into chaos, but at the same time he got a bit too close to the Grenadiers and thus ended up giving the Panzer IV a nice chance to move in and finish it off. Well done there. But we do see continued aggressive harassment going in. If American constantly taking points and now mining them as well. Splendid, splendid. Going to make it harder for the German player to get back into the match.
The new men have arrived.
The enemy has found us!
Bunker up.
We have taken it.
Squad standing by.
And the conscripts are going to overwhelm the officer. I mean, he needs to be careful not spreading out his troops too far, which does make it easier for the Germans and the Russians to then break through. Officer needs to get the hell out of there.
What we have secured.
We are bleeding, comrades.
And the Schützenpanzerwagen is not really doing much near the front line at the moment. It definitely should reconsider that attitude. At the very least, he could easily man it with some pioneers having to run around and basically take points away from the enemy.
Armor is engaging us.
We are as ready as we can be. We're under attack! What do you want?
There we go, the shock troops moving ahead. Already veterans who won though. MD-42s ringing away. Panzer IV opening up as well. High explosive shells, and there goes smoking up. Though note, he probably should have thrown it closer to himself so he could also obfuscate the line of sight of the Grenadiers here. Otherwise, I mean, they can basically just go to, hey, Heinz, over there. They are hiding behind the smoke, you know.
What do you want?
So keep that in mind. T-34 moving in. Shock troops absolutely pinned down. Grenadiers need to retreat. Rückzug, Rückzug. Get the hell out of there, Friedrich. And Panzer IV with an exposed rear got a bit lucky there. Now that T-34 though might be in some considerably dire straits. Damaged engine and a Panzer IV bearing down upon it. Conscripts are moving up. Support Panzer IV is actually pulling away. Much to my surprise, I figured he might go in here and try and finish it off. But no. Big D is apparently feeling a bit worried at the moment. There we go, veterans who won. Half-track finally moving up once more to support the front lines. Tellermine going up there, good idea. You could also Tellermine that spot, and also some S-mines around here might be a nice idea. Heavy mortar moving up. Mining going on from both players. Splendid. Splendid. Not downright wunderbar.
Taking fire! Ready.
Heavy mortar setting up. Looks like Americanxwarrior has a nice spot here for his mortar generally. Pioneers should consider getting out of the shock troopers are not going to want to be best friends with the Pioneers. In fact, quite the opposite. Some Panzer Grenadiers now arriving for the 20th Panzer Division. Oh, 6th Panzer Division. My apologies. But moving ahead here.
Taking fucking fire!
Yes, comrade.
Some conscripts could stand to be upgraded with the submachine guns. And oh! Shock troopers here in for a bit of a shock as they encounter the Panzer IV point blank. Machine guns raking into them. Heavy high explosive shells as well. Looks like, oh, the heavy mortar might be in for trouble. Oh, it looks like Grenadier squad just lost half its number. And there you go, point blank firing of the machine guns, the MG-34s and the 42s. Straight into the bastards. While the shock troopers' assault met with desperate resistance from the Germans, resulting in many a dead shock trooper there in the midst of the forest. Officers still around there, lovely, lovely.
And workers of the Soviet Union.
Actually using that one so far, that's also the only thing he's using from his doctrine. For example, there's no sight of, say, an Opel Blitz, which could provide him with additional resources, both munitions and fuel.
Awaiting command.
Munitions which could then have been worked towards more mines or strafing runs, or even a fragmentation bombing run. But good job then keeping the tanks alive, pulling them back if necessary.
Shock troops here.
Also good continued harassment. He might want to consider setting up a machine gun bunker right here to cover that far western victory point. Perhaps also set up some telemines in here, and then that way, for example, when he then moves in, say, some tanks to try and clear this out, he will hit the telemine, thus allowing the Germans to quickly swoop in and, say, knock out a disabled tank. So there's something there to consider in terms of strategy and tactics. Shock troopers rushing ahead. And he actually merged with it. That's interesting. That's interesting. Looks like he's just opting for a quick assault. Though again, with Veteran 2, I mean, they do become tougher, so although they won't be as tough as the ones with actual shock trooper armor, but still. Little fun fact there. Interesting idea there. Rare that I see a shock trooper squad merged with, but doesn't mean it's always a bad idea, though of course you won't be getting a full shock trooper strength of troops in it. 34's being forced away. Panzer Force advancing. And Panzer 4 got a bit too ahead of itself. Quick anti-tank grenade on the side, but so close to you. And armor-piercing incendiary rounds on the MT-42, turning into the MT-34. Oh, looks like it just ran out. Never mind then, but still. Veteran 2 on the Panzerkampfwagen 4. T-34 moves ahead. He was trying to get that Panzer 4 Veteran 2, but sadly, no luck. The Panzerkampfwagen is still alive. Nibelungwerken's finest keeps on fighting.
Ready.
And moving over to the support bomb company, might be going for some field guns. A maximum might also prove advantageous.
What do you need?
And mortar here continuing to blast away in the hopes of hitting some fascists. Points here being taken away again. He seems to be a bit slow in responding to deal with stuff on his flanks. Anyways, time for the mid-game analysis. Current situation is this Russians are a bit on the back foot, though, doing their best to sort of keep the Germans a bit off guard, a bit off kilter. Running around, harassing, taking points on the flanks, hoping to draw away something from the front, thus allowing for something to push up the center. I mean, that's always a good idea, and certainly one of the strengths of the Russians, since they don't have to be so completely concerned with their flanks and such if they play well. Of course, the heavy mortar as well. Currently, of course, that's also the problem that most of his armor just went the way of the Dodo, as he got absolutely blasted away by the Panzers without actually a single loss. The Panzers, in fact, he got one Veteran 2 Panzer 4 out of it, and that's usually bad news if your name is not Heinz. And for example, instead, it's Vasily or Boris. So something to consider there. I mean, getting some field guns up now might actually help him with that way. Of course, I mean, with the Veteran 2, and for that matter, Veteran 1 Panzer 4, of course, there's some proper blitzkrieg could do that, so he's going to need at least more than one field gun. He's going to need them spaced evenly out so they can cover each other in case the Panzer IV blitzes past them. Otherwise, you know, he might run into some problems unless Big D decides, you know, 9 blitzkrieg, you know, that's so 1939, yeah. I'm just going to park my Panzer IV in front of his field gun, yeah. That's so 1918, ugh. My commander might be a bit of a klutz. If that happens, of course, if that happens. So there's something a bit there to consider in those regards. Popping over here to Big D, who's got a bit more infantry in some sense. He's definitely got the armoured advantage. He's also got the territorial advantage, but at the same time he's currently being harassed. He needs something to deal with the harassers, and again, using the half-track for that purpose would be good. I would suggest one Panzer Grenadier squad, one Pioneer squad with a flamethrower, and then basically rushing out to quickly deal with them, you know, popping up the troops, unleashing an insane amount of firepower, then moving on and basically using the troops inside, you know, to quickly take points as well. Any damage after the half-tracks, the Pioneers fixes up. So something like that could, for example, quickly clear out the flanks, and that way, you know, handle any harassers. I mean, it is a speedy vehicle, and they can quickly get your troops from point A to point B. So that would be recommendable as a tactic there to sort of handling those things if I were to suggest it. Panzer IVs, of course, need repairs and reinforcements. I would also suggest setting up the open blitz so you can get himself some more munitions and some fuel that way as well. That way he can set himself up faster for a Tiger tank, which I definitely think he should be trying to aim for. And he could also set himself up for the fragmentation bombing run, in which case, I mean, of course he doesn't know the field guns are coming, but once he knows it, I mean, it could prove advantageous, and even then, a well-placed fragmentation bombing run in any, say, infantry squad, like, say, some bunch of nasty shock troopers with light machine guns, you know, could prove quite advantageous as all of a sudden they found themselves in 50 to 20 pieces. So that would, of course, also be another thing, but otherwise, you know, he needs to build up a more solid centre. Panzers that are being kept in reserve, that is good, but again, build up some solid centres. Perhaps consider a bunker out here on the right flank again. And let's, you know, get back to the fight. See how this goes.
The area has been secured.
Though, of course, a priority might also be getting rid of that bloody heavy mortar. Which, again, was quite popular with the Axis forces besides the Russians. The Germans pretty much adopted it, the Hungarians did it, the Romanians did it, the Finnish did it. They pretty much went, yeah, this works. Which didn't always happen. You know, sometimes, you know, they have to make their own variant. For example, the Panther. The initial draft for the Panther was basically just a German T-34. I mean, there was very little terms of difference in how they actually looked. But then they rather went, you know, Mein Führer, I can understand your concerns that it looks a bit too much like a Russian tank. But, you know, I mean, no, it doesn't work. We need something that looks a bit cooler and more German. Yeah, okay. We'll work something out then.
Taking our territory.
Then these veterans, these shock troopers flying about, they're hitting in the back. Clever, clever, heavy mortar flying support, Axis around the Germans here. Although shock troopers are now being hit, several machine guns that no, so they are veterans here too. So light machine gun bullets, all that would certainly have a harder time actually doing anything against them. Hard track quickly rushing up, reinforcing that is good, that is that incredibly necessary. I also think you might want to rifle grenade bastards, but that's another matter. And before you're getting mortared, officer moving up, I think he should pull back. Fragmentation bombing run, by the way, bereit. And there goes shock troopers retreating. Heavy mortars are getting off, a nice hit there. Panzer IV's being repaired, in fact almost fully repaired. Perhaps now is the time to hunt down the heavy mortar. Looks like it certainly hits the T-34s.
Resist everyone! Grenadiers ready!
Nice harassment there from the officer, although again, he seems to be sparkling through his absence. There go eventually 2 Panzer IV up, and there we go, the first field gun up. Panzer is here overwhelmed by the sheer presence of shock troopers, strafing on the Luftwaffe, immediately intervenes, saving the day for poor Heinz here, who was thinking he might not make it home back for Bratwurst. Again, merging with the shock troop squads. Very rare that I actually see this happening. Very rare.
They have liberated this sector.
But again, as soon as they get more veterans, they become tough, and thus it actually becomes less of an issue that they'll be using conscripts for it, though, of course. I mean, there's still the benefit overall of using actual shock troopers. They become even tougher, but say, you know, if they have quick pension, you know, this actually works, and still, it's also a lot bloody cheaper. And of course, they've got the submachine guns, I mean, that also works. Panzer IV, rather on its own here on the far west flank, needs to be careful. He does, you know, hit something unsuspected and unpleasant, which might blow up the engine. Additional Panzer Grenadiers. Again, he's getting closer to the Tiger tank. I think we should aim for that, and there we go. Panzer IV rushing ahead, spotting the conscripts, also perhaps spotting the mortar, though it looks like the Americanxwarrior here might... Oh no, he's not moving away. Quickly moving the Panzer IV. Calling the fragmentation bombing run. Das ist ein Order. Instead, what happens, of course, is the other thing you usually don't want happening is you park right next to a mine and it gets blown up. That, of course, is also something to be very off, and in that sense, there's also a rule of thumb here is, oh, ach, never mind then. The Panzer IV here did it. Just rolled in and then blew up the mortar, forcing the rest of the crew to pull back.
We are losing the sector.
Field gun moving up.
Lieutenant Colonel, at your command.
Come on, retreat some Big D. Advance and oh, nice. And let me just actually explain why this worked. I mean, the trick here is basically he's choosing some unit he's expecting his opponent not paying attention to. I mean, that's also a trick in itself. I mean, the same thing in Company of Heroes. Usually, for example, if you wanted a good artillery strike, for example, the off-map kind, you didn't throw it on the middle of the things where your opponent's paying attention. You'd throw it on something far out on the far reaches while there was fighting going on elsewhere, you know, basically going for something he's not quite paying attention to, and something a quick strike could wipe out, and that's rather than what happened here. And usually I won't pause stop, but this is really, you know, a good example of it. Also works with, say, Molotovs, grenades, all those kind of things. In those cases, these things are great for the things your opponent is not paying attention to and can't react fast enough to actually save, so keep that in mind. Little trick there, little tip that can actually end up doing a lot of good for you. So yeah, definitely well played there. More smoke grenades. I like he's actually using smoke grenades. His problem is though he actually ends up always throwing them a bit too late. But you know, he needs to work on that, but still, he's got the right idea. He's going in the right direction there, so I'm otherwise, you know, not going to say a lot of bad stuff about that. Next is setting up the Panzer IV here for the flank. That's actually pretty clever, though. Looks like Americanxwarrior here is a bit expecting it, setting up his field gun a bit reverse position, and at the same time another field gun, and there we go, veterans one for the Panzerkampfwagen IV, allowing it to blitz. In this case, though, it might be an idea to blitz away, or at least just get the hell out of there.
Panzer IV. Fragmentation bombing can begin at
Grenadiers moving up. Oh! Flare trip mine neatly kills Heinz. Panzerfaust on the rear here.
the territory is out of contact.
Nice rifle grenade as well on the field gun. In this case, it doesn't do too much. The gun shield protects. This is also about what a gun shield would protect against. I mean, a direct hit from a tank and that thing's gone. I mean, anti-tank guns themselves in the actual war were pretty much dead if they're actually spotted by a tank. I mean, that was usually, you know, one hit and you're dead, mate. There we go, nice full-on infantry assault here. T-34 sticking behind, although with the damaged engine, field guns slowly moving up. Panzer's charging in. No, they need to be covered. These are veterans who shock troops with light machine guns. There we go, the Panzer's just, note how quickly they're just absolutely murdered there. Again, do not underestimate a light machine gun for them as any kind of automatic weapon when attacking. The Panzer IV rolling ahead there, quickly ending the lives of 2 shock troopers. Well done. Moving a bit too far ahead. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't drive it into the middle of everything. Right there, that was a bad maneuver from Big D. Field gun looks like we'll be recruited. There's already one firing away there, or at least can be firing away. Anti-tank guns, T-34. Oh dear, why did you have to do that, Big D? Why did you have to move straight into the middle of your opponent's force? Like that. And without anything to help it, that was an absolutely terrible idea. We are now seeing the rest of his forces moving into its intercept, but it is simply too late. That was a bad idea without doubt. I am not entirely sure what convinced him to do that, but likely not anything sensible. Second Panzer IV now also moves into it. Oh dear, Big D, what are you doing? I think Big D might be getting a bit too cocky and a bit too overconfident. Thinking he already has his opponent by the balls. Instead, he's just basically hand over his balls to his opponent. Also now still rather far away from the Tiger tank. Come on, Big D, get to Tiger.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
But right there, that was an unimaginable loss. 2 Panzer IVs again, including a veteran T2 Panzer IV. That's not exactly good. That is in fact bad. Very bad. And of course now also a veteran T3 shock trooper squad. That's going to be a nightmare. An absolute nightmare. And those are going to be the toughest infantry unit in the game. Those are definitely not the guys you want to mess with. Definitely not.
Pioneers reporting objective captured. Pioneers ready for anything.
Right here, he definitely wants to use the intended arm piercing rounds. He actually wants to stand a chance for that MD42 against the shock troopers. Why did he even do that? I hope that was a misclick, because otherwise that made no sense. No sense, he just wasted a veteran 3 Grenadier squad on a field gun. I mean, I really can't reconcile that with everything else he's done in the game, which has actually been, reasonably clever, or at least competent. And then all of a sudden he just does that. That makes no sense. And there go Pioneers forced to retreat. No mines up here against Taylor. S mines would have been great. Another fragmentation bombing run available if necessary. More pioneers, and looks like he's actually moving on for a heavy panzer corps. Not entirely sure why he'd go for that now. Of course, he could consider getting up a panzer there, for that could actually prove to be the thing. To bombard American warriors' positions. Now it's time to pop back, go a look at him. Things are definitely looking a bit bad here for our friend in the German army. And looks like he's about to lose another panzer gun in his squad. Indeed, that was not good.
Ready. Your orders.
Rather, a lot of problems seem to be creeping up on him.
You need something built?
Conscripts!
Ready and willing!
Let us see if Big D can turn it around. Or if he has sown the seeds of his own doom.
What do you want? Stay low!
We have the point.
Shock troops moving ahead, barely taking it down despite all the firing poured at them. Troops being met for these. Panzers just need to get out there again. Be careful about such veteran troops. And down. Big D seems to be underestimating the shock troopers here vastly. We are seeing a strafing run, looks like being called in here, or is it a bombing run? Grenadiers still need to retreat. No, that is a strafing run. That is a strafing run. We're definitely beginning to lose some serious ground. Heavy Panzer Corps is up. Shall he going for the Panzer for the Panzer or the Sturm Panzer IV? A Sturm Panzer IV might also prove advantageous. We could actually use it from the correct angle. It could really devastate some of his opponent's infantry. That is about it. Another strafe. Lots of pioneers hanging about.
AT gun here.
Field gun here could stand to be recruited.
Field gun standing by.
Just moving ahead overall. Heavy infantry loss, of course, is also crippling Big D at this stage. He's got barely any infantry left, barely any units. Again, he's made a lot of mistakes all of a sudden, for whatever reasons, which is making it considerably easier for his opponents, I think. Not sure why the MD fudge is being sent up that far. That is making an awful little sense. And they're retreating just in the nick of time.
Good work, comrades. This now
But just barely.
Red Army at your service.
Also interesting how he has not upgraded this conscript squad yet with submachine guns.
Shock troops here.
32 kills on these shock troopers.
Aimed fire on this position!
Definitely bad news for the Germans. Looks like the T-34 is moving out. Panzer IV support by the half-track. Nothing in the half-track by the looks of it, so not sure why.
Yes, comrade.
At all. But definitely looks like it's going to be a head-on engagement here. T-34 arriving. Panzer IV is up. First two shots fail to penetrate or hit. Conscripts moving up there. Anti-tank grenading. Oh, damage engine. This is bad news. Grenadiers will need to quickly Panzer Faust. One engine damage for one T-34 man to flank. There we go. Panzer IV down to half health. One T-34, in fact, both Panzer IV or T-34 down to half health at the moment. But this is looking rather ugly. Veterans, you one up. Conscripts, not dealing with the conscripts. One T-34 down, but the Panzer IV does not have long click. No, he's shifting targets. Oh, the smoke from the T-34 is actually blocking the knives, so I can't shoot. And these pioneers are just going to get slaughtered. Just retreat. There we go. Half track down. And there we go. The final Panzer IV is a total write-off. And just as that happens, the Tiger tank arrives about damn time. That thing could easily have been out here a lot earlier. But no, Big D apparently first decided to get it until things were really looking bad. And there you go, Veterans 2 on the T-34 now, but that shall not help it. The Tiger is here. Schwerer Panzerabteilung providing support. And death. Quick smoke grenade up there. I'm not entirely sure what the shock troopers popped there. Probably to protect the T-34 a bit too late. And oh, good lord. That was almost the entire shock trooper squad. One hell of a shot there by the corner. Almost wiped out every single man right there. That could have been... good lord. There we go. Full on the retreat now. The Tiger has turned the right-hand side tide, but only for now.
Yes, comrade.
Still plenty of infantry, still plenty of field guns, and definitely he's going to need the Tiger repair. But on the bright side, Big D does have 3 pioneers, which means it's going to happen reasonably fast. So that's always something. And now we're seeing a Harder going up here for Americanxwarrior. Very big gun. Just get the Tiger tank repaired. But so far, I think besides, you know, the storming attack, he's pretty much always made full use of his doctrine. That's grand.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
Veteran 3 conscripts, veteran 3 grenadiers. That should be to the advantage of the grenadiers with a light machine gun. But we do see a Molotov going off there, and the Molotov does not care about veterans, he will just kill. Down to half. And Tiger tank arriving, immediately ending the life of poor Yuri. Tigers work with a few rare exceptions, usually organised into heavy Panzer battalions where they usually have their own small complement of infantry. Usually a pioneer battalion, a reconnaissance battalion, or company actually, I think it was a company to be honest. Company of pioneers, company of reconnaissance troops, and a small company of Panzer grenadiers. In reconnaissance half-tracks and such, basically the lighter half-track variants. Basically there to provide support for the Tigers and basically showing there was always something there to support them. Earlier heavy tank battalions though did have a curious mix of Tiger tanks and Panzer IIIs. So little fun fact there. Otherwise, I mean, usually small complement infantry from different companies. They again provide support for the Tiger, keep them covered and such. Nice grenade against grenadiers. Oh, almost get the entire squad. Grenades as well. Don't care about veterancy. Always important to remember.
Watch out for that tank.
Field guns rushing ahead. Tracking on this one, that seems a bit of an odd usage of it, but either way, that Tiger's going to be forced back. Panzer gun is moving up again. A bit late though. Shock troopers almost dead. Again, the Tiger tanks prove its worth. And these Panzer guns won't be standing a chance against these veterans of 3 conscripts.
We have a new T-34 standing by.
Points are ticking down. Come on, Big D. You do seem to have a bit of trouble keeping your Panzer gunners alive, which seems to be a very nasty knack or habit he has.
We are bleeding. Enemy is engaging us. One standing by.
Oh, veterans of the conscript squad wiped out. They stood no chance against the Tiger.
Field gun standing by.
Lots of field guns, a small pack wall up here, as the Germans would have called it, which was basically a tactic involving a lot of anti-tank guns forming a large wall under the command of one person. It was actually a tactic the Russians adopted quite nicely. And there you go, actually a Tellermine was there, a Tellermine. That's rare. Still, he did do a job of mining about his usage just as opponent began to hit the mines with his tanks. There we go, abandoned, but still, careful, there are 3 field guns, only 1 Tiger. But the field guns could be rushed right now, so he should do that with the Grenadiers and the Panzer Grenadiers if he's managed to put them back in condition. Ooh, tank got blown up. No ways there. Field guns barraging. Tiger tank once more being quickly repaired, swiftly and soundly. Field gun here going to get cleared out. Lovely, lovely. Taking back the point over there. Good, good. And not sure that's a fragmentation bomb or a strafing run. Well, the strafing run's not really going to do much against the field guns. That I would say would be the larger priority of anything. Quickly wiping them out would allow the Tiger tank to quickly roll in and clear out the rest. Instead he opted for the strafing run, which is Well, not quite going to cut, of course, there's the Panzers. They might try and direct charge and clear them out. That could work. But, you know, don't stop up in front of the field guns so they can barrage. You get behind them.
Territory is falling
Oh
into
dear,
enemy
Big
hands.
D. Oh dear.
The people anticipate our victory. The enemy has 10 points remaining.
So there we go, Tiger Tank leading a head-on charge. There we go, the veterans one. Blitz, blitz, don't park in front of the field guns. Don't park in front of the field guns.
Enemy forces are
That was just daft, but I rather get the impression here that Big D seems to have lost it by this stage of the fight. We'll just beat this up. Death Infantry again, another officer out a bit late there.
Our opponents are seizing the sector.
And there we go. Game over. Bit of a brutal fight. Bit of one which saw actually a lot of use of mines, which is grand. Some good use of mines. Some shock troopers really managed to do a lot of his opponent actually seeing conscripts being merged with the shock troopers, rather rare. A nice field gun formation, also used with the howitzer roll, almost full use of the doctrine. Same from the German player. He could have used the Open Blitz, though. That I think was one lacking there he had. One thing that bit him a bit in the arse, I think, even. But overall, one of his problem was basically his handling of infantry. He had a slight tendency, sometimes displaying some rather atrocious infantry preservation several times, in particular Panzer Grenadiers, which were quite expensive, also quite easily wasted because, kept running straight up to the enemy, despite, the enemy probably shouldn't be run up to. So bits and problems there, something he definitely should be working on. He was also a bit late in getting the Tiger, and I also think he should have considered getting up a Panzerwerfer to, help with those field guns at one stage. But, otherwise, nicely played, but again, there were a few cases where Big D all of a sudden, made some rather questionable decisions which bit him in the arse and rather cost him the game. I think he got overconfident, which in the long run lost him the fight. Americanxwarrior played, a rather consistent fight. He also had a few mistakes here and there, but overall, he pulled through. He showed better unit preservation. He made good use of mines, and overall, pulled through. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. You'll learn a thing or two or three from it. If you did, why not subscribe? Tell your friends. If you didn't, why not simply play and provide some feedback in the comments. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.